Hey, admins, I touched the wall on both my laps,
Oh.
so I don't have a lap time. You're not the only one. I did too.
Alright. Hello, 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 hello. Thank you for coming on out here this evening. Sorry, a little late. Ended up taking a little nappy nap. Outside me is Will. Hello, Will.
Hello, Brian.
How is it going, sir? Darlington tonight. The wonderful South Carolinian Darlington. So I'm gonna go with a little race information first, and then we'll let you do your quick little spiel because unfortunately my fault, don't have enough time to hear all about it, so you go over your basics. So the race information for tonight, you see here Darlington, in South Carolina. It's a one-third mile. The weather itself is 73%, 76% humidity, overcast, 8 mile per hour wind, 75% fuel, 125 laps, 171 miles. 4 sets of tires, Will, no quick fixes, and 3 green white checkers. So that is that. Anyway, go ahead and take it back to you about Darlington.
Darlington once was called Super Speedway, but they don't really call it that anymore. But Darlington Raceway, you know, this track was originally designed for cars that only topped out at barely at 100 or over 100 miles per hour, Brian. Now these cars can top out at, if they were unrestricted, well over 200, right? So a long way we have come from the day and age from 1959 to now in 2024, right? So 1 1/3 mile track like you talked about, so it's pretty, it can be what the heck type of, had some type of beetle bug land on me. Ooh, bugs. Ugh. Anyway, 1959, like I said, was when the track was opened. I believe the race had either 68 starters or 72 starters. It was the biggest field, right, ever for a NASCAR stock car event. And, they didn't know that you could run up on the banking. They were like, what's that? What's that banking? So everybody kind of ran on the flat, burnt up their tires and everything. Like, even whenever it was first created, it was a track that, shredded tires, Brian. So the first car to win the race won on parking tires. It's a little known fact that is widely known. But yeah, great finishes throughout the years. Richard Petty, I think, is the person that holds with the most wins here. I do believe 10 or 12 without having to look. I think it's the same number of wins as North Wilkesboro. But yeah, Blakey Craven and Kurt Busch with the wild finish back in 2002 that we all love so well. Either 02 or 03. I think it was 03, right, Brian? But
Yes.
yeah, just great finishes throughout the years here at Darlington. Denny Hamlin going into turn 3, Kyle Larson wanting to kind of do that video game move. But yes, great finishes throughout the years, and it just an overall great track. It's difficult, you can get what we know is the Darlington stripe here, getting up in that wall. So you got to be very careful. There's a bump at a turn 2 that if you get it wrong, it's just going to be a bad day for you, Brian. So it's going to be a tough track all night for these drivers.
Yes, sir. So as we see
Don't forget
here, yeah. Starting P1 would be Jacob Carter. P2 would be Jaden Sanchez. P3 would be Skylar Sixing. Awesome to have you back, Mr. Skylar. Awesome to have you here. Yeah, Skylar. P4 would be Jason Pearson. P5 will be Philip Bridgman. P6 would be Joe Stipe. P7 would be Chris Cornett. P8 would be Aaron Bradford. P9 would be Pete Woodrum. P10 will be Eric Cordero. P11 will be Chris Campbell. P12 will be Justin Steves. P13 will be Brandon Moore. And P14 will be Cameron Smith. Who's outside of the 48? That's, I think, JP. Alright, well, we got some,
Share your screen on Discord.
oh. Okay. My bad.
No, my bad too. I was trying to. Thank you, sir. Good sir. Yes, sir.
So Carter led the pole,
Yep.
as you see here, as the pace car pulls off.
Yep, Carter with the pole, like you talked about Sanchez in that Penske championship, back-to-back championship car. That's actually a car that's on display at the Penske Museum in Arizona, if I'm not mistaken. So, green flag is away, and we are off this evening here at Darlington for the B&R Beer Cup Fixed Cup Series. I'm always forgetting a word in somewhere, Brian. So, we already have one car getting their Darlington stripe early on. So, I love Skylar's paint scheme here tonight. We see a handful or a mixture of either throwback or, heritage style paint schemes. Talk Willie, it's going to be difficult. We just, both of us, Brian, we just kind of woke up from one of our polar bear naps, eh? So.
Hey, I actually like Joe Stipe's paint.
Where's Joe at? Which one is, where's Joe?
Right there.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, Bradford got his stripe.
Well, Joe was the person that got it on lap 1. Joe's getting another one. Yes, indeed. That's actually a pretty hard hit for the wing number 20. So, all about trying to keep the tires under you at Darlington. Severe conservative mode you will be in for most of the night or a good percentage of the evening. Now, 125 laps here this evening, so the driver is told... Oh, yes, indeed. Wow. Is this a... Oh, no, it's not a caution. He got it wrong coming out of turn number 2. Just hit that bump like I talked about, Brian, and shot him right into the wall. So that's exactly where that... I will kill you, bug. Hopefully, Twitch and YouTube doesn't mind what I just said to the bug. It is a bug. It's like a beetle thing. So leave me alone, Paul McCartney. I'm just gonna name it here in a minute. But anyway, 5 laps already under our belt, and we didn't get a caution in the first 5 laps, so that's good to see, Brian. Normally, Darlington can be a treacherous thing in the early days of a race. So, you have Chris Cornett looking on Skylar Sixton.
Side-by-side battle here with the 4.
Oh, that's a tight battle. You got to be very careful being side-by-side in either end of the track.
That's
you can really snuff. It is. You can really snuff yourself or a competitor in the wall here, and you don't even mean to do it. The track narrows up. It's pretty much a single groove track for the most part, Brian. You know that as well as I do. And when you go into these corners, your car is really going to, for the most part, wash up at least a lane. All the way up to that wall, right? Just the way that the racing line kind of curves through the track. So, Pete Woodrum losing a couple of spots here. Not sure if he just got a Darlington stripe or not, but he lost a little bit of forward momentum. So, 9.5 seconds back to Justin Steves is the total race gap at the moment. Only 8 laps in.
Unfortunately, this is the battle for second place.
Yes, Philip Bridgman all over the back of Jacob Carter, as Jacob Carter is still within reason of Jaden Sanchez in the 22 car. Can't really say, it's that half and half, like I said, the championship display car, the back-to-back. Like I said the other night, Brian, in this plate chase playoff format, elimination thing, it's hard to have back-to-back championship winners as far as drivers, but owners, on the other hand, in 2022, in 2020 and 2021, you had Hendrick with Chase Elliott and then Kyle Larson the next year winning with Hendrick Motorsports, and then you had Joey Logano winning in 23, I do believe it was, right? And then the next year you had Ryan Blaney. I can't even remember who won the 2022 championship.
Martin?
2022? No.
It's probably someone not relevant at all.
Like, I feel like we should know it because...
Yeah, as much as we watch it. Look at that. Skylar 16
Like
with a
it
great
was-
run to the back of the 5. Now the camera wants to come back up here with Jacob.
Well, no, I guess it was Logano that won in 22, and then last year was Blaney. So yeah, okay.
Phillip got loose, hit the inside wall.
Me with my years mixed up here. Yes, indeed. Like we talked about, coming out of the corners here will be very treacherous, and that was coming out of turn number 4. So he could have just got tight, and the walls will really sponge you out here. So this battle with Skyler and Cornette, man, they've been going at it. Yeah, I don't know why I think we're living in like 2025 already.
And then
Blaney, so yeah, but like I said the other night talking about the display car, I'm surprised that Rick Hendrick didn't do something similar, with the 5 and 9 whenever he won back-to-back championships with those two cars.
5, that's the wall.
Oh, Brandon Moore's in that orange amp car that Dale Jr. ran at Charlotte and I want to say Las Vegas. Like he ran the orange amp car a couple of times. That was actually, because it's the color orange, that was my favorite amp car ever. And I never got to get a die cast of it. Maybe one day I still can, thanks to the old eBay or, some auction place, but...
Chris Cornette got loose.
Oh, yes, he did. So, yeah, coming out of turn 4 and turn 2, turn 2 has that bump over there, but it still is almost a hump coming out of turn number 2, but it's not as bad as turn number 4. Turn number 4 more so has a hump, as if you were almost coming through Dover, the exits of Dover speedways. So you got to be very, very careful. Brandon Moore now making his way kind of through the field. He's pretty good at conserving tires.
Let's see here, he's going to apply the pressure to the back.
Carter's all over the back of Jaden, Brian.
Oh, yeah.
So Carter's ran back down Jaden here.
That Yoda power.
We've seen Carter be just a bit twitchy so far early going here, but that's going to happen at Darlington. Your car's going to be a handful. He's going to get a bit tight, almost into the wall behind Jaden. They're going to navigate turn 2.
The problem is, can he pull a Martin Truex?
Well, yeah, can he have a good dominant car, possibly win this race this evening? Indeed. So we're only running about 125 laps tonight, so good side-by-side action here for the lead, as Carter had to back out of it there. You really want to set your passes up for corner exit if you can, to just pass them and dispose of them on the straightaways here. As you saw, like it's just so narrow in the corners, right, Brian? So it's very treachery. I'm trying to combine treacherous and trickery there, but very treacherous. Going side by side through the corners here at Darlington, just because of how bumpy it is and how it just narrows up at certain parts of the track. But as we see here, Carter running that good high line entry, and he's going to kind of almost swoop down right on the exit, but a high diamond, if you will, through the corner. Not quite an arch, but and you see Jaden with a good exit off of 2. At the moment, Darlington in this race, it's just waiting for your competitor to make a mistake, and then you can capitalize. That's mainly what it always is, waiting for your competitor in front of you that you may be slightly faster than, but you can't seem to get around, just to make a mistake. Good, just driving between the front 2 up here at the moment. One's just able to close in on the other one's just able to keep the other at bay.
Well, as that's the closest battle at the moment is Jaden and Jacob.
Okay, so JP's in a Days of Thunder car as well, so...
Yeah, that's JP there. Threw me off for a minute.
He's not... Yeah, exactly. He threw me off, too. He's not in his normal, big dog, paint schemes. He's in one of the Days of Thunder Hardy's cars, so...
So you got Ford, Toyota, Chevy, Ford, Chevy, and then Chevy.
Oh, Campbell is out of the race, Brian. Not too sure what happened to Christopher Campbell, but he has taken his car behind the wall. Just now caught that. Bradford, he's 16 laps down after the repairs done to his automobile. Joe Stipe in the pits for possibly repairs to the right front toe end after making a few good significant contacts with the wall. Replay here with Campbell. Once again. Oh. I didn't.
Yeah, it ended up doing its thing. Like.
Yeah.
But whatever it was hard contact, and then.
Hate to see it.
Absolutely. See there, Phillip is currently 1 lap down at the moment.
Yeah, you can really lose the pace quick if you can't keep your rhythm up, keep your momentum up. And you will lose pace quickly here at Darlington. It only takes about 28, 29 seconds, to make a lap around here. 30, 32 max once the tires, completely fall off. You're just out there running until the fuel, and until you need to come down pit road, bring it for a fuel stop. So, the lead battle still going on, still raging between Sanchez and Carter. Haven't really missed too much up here. Brandon Moore getting into the 3rd position, taking that away from Pearson, though. So, Brandon's only a 1.5 back from the raging battle for the lead. Pearson, he's going to drop back just a little bit, but still staying in the top 5. Skylar Sigston rounds out the top 5. And Carter takes the lead going into turn number 3. Jaden kind of lost a little bit of momentum, slipped up just a little bit going into turn 3, halfway down the back straightaway. That gave Carter the opportunity and the passing chance to take the lead away. maybe with the clean air, Carter might be able to open up a gap on Jaden, or maybe Jaden just might be able to stay with him. Fuel mileage this evening, Brian, 45 to 50 laps on a full tank.
Yeah.
So that's what we're getting this evening. 30 laps in of 125, like I was going to say earlier, 125 laps tonight. That is just about 23 laps shy of actually being halfway distance of the
Full Darlington.
Yes, thank you. So just a couple of 20 laps shy of a that's a 45%, 40% length race, so not too bad. Pearson and Sigston close, possibly, Brian, on the scoring and timing, as Cameron gets passed by Justin Steves for 7th position. You know, all the Hendrick numbers are pretty much what represented in your league, Brian, that's for sure. The 9, the 24, the 5, the 48, the 88.
That's who showed up.
Oh, yeah.
Green so far all the way through. Well, next week these guys head to Homestead.
Yes, indeed. You know, Homestead, Miami, that progressive banked mile and a half down there in the very south of Florida. Down there in the Key, almost in the Keys. So Brandon Moore's kind of...
Go back and re-put that setting because they did an update to that track. Set up. Anyway, go ahead.
Pearson letting Skylar Sigston by, so that battle wasn't too long of an endeavor for Skylar. Yeah, Brandon Moore kind of stabilized out. He is now 2.5 seconds back. He's lost a second. He could have tagged the wall, perhaps. As pit stops, more pit takers. Bridgman, Joe Stipe is still in the pits, possibly still repairing car. Cordair is in the pits. Pete Woodrum has pitted, I do believe, as well. Either just went a lap down. I think he might have just went a lap down.
That is a possibility. But that 13, aka 18, is making love to that wall. We'll just call him the 13, since that's what we're so used.
Yeah. It almost looks like a 13. It almost looks like a 19. But yes. On that paint scheme, in the movie, it is the 18 Hardy's car, so...
Next in danger going a lap down is old Cameron there.
Yes, indeed. He is 27.5 seconds back in danger, like he said, so he will be the next car. He is the car that is next in front of the race leaders. And then Pete Woodrum back in the pits after just coming out of pit road. Cordair 4 laps down. And Joe got back out there. He is 10 laps down at the moment, Brian. So some people hoping, praying, doing maybe a rain dance for a caution. A jig in their racing rig. You never can tell. As the leaders navigate their way by. Oh, man, Cameron trying his best to keep it in the wall for the race leaders. It's kind of a sketchy, scary moment, but that's the case almost any time you're going to make a pass, just not on a lap car or a slow car, perhaps. You know, it can be a doozy like we talked about here.
Oh yeah. This track's a lot of rolling. Gotta let it roll.
Darlington's another one of those drivers' tracks. If you don't put it on the schedule, it seems like drivers really, almost complain about, oh, well, not having Darlington. You know, I really love racing Darlington, so that's pretty much why we put it on the schedule all the time. You know, every time just about. So
That's a nice 24.
that is. That's a pretty interesting. What is that? Mountain Dew or?
Yeah.
Yes, it is. I don't think that's the Code Red Mountain Dew. It might be. It could be that other red color that they have that I can't remember the name of. Cameron Smith in the pits, so that should possibly be scheduled for sure. Just a few laps early, at least, maybe. So pit stop should be occurring either in about this lap or a few laps from now, Brian. As Brandon Moore keeps kind of falling away from the two race leaders. Jaden now struggling on these older tires, it looks like, after trying to keep... The sun did come out. Look at that. That's going to change how the track is going to handle with these cars. You know, how the track is going to shine down now, heat up the track a little bit more after having the overcast start. So...
See there, the 5 of Chris Cornett. Pacing himself, getting around. You see there, Joe.
Yeah, Joe, he's just trying to log some laps.
Yep.
Yep, currently 10 laps down.
I do like that Budweiser. It's pretty nice.
So, 45 laps in. Jaden is a second and a quarter back from Carter, give or take.
And then
Brandon Moore, 5 seconds back. Pete Woodrum navigating around Skyler. Like we said, Pete's out there. He's got some somewhat fresh tires, so he's going to be going around some of the others. 3 laps down at the moment for Pete, so he is the first car that is any laps down whatsoever. Chris Cornett is going to be the next car that may be in danger of losing a lap. He's 26 and a half seconds back at the moment, Brian, so...
Yes, he is.
Currently only 7 cars on the lead lap. Skyler Sixton pits at lap 46. So pits are, this is where everybody who's on the lead lap, pit road is open now. So...
Yep, JP comes in. Darlington is another tricky one with getting onto the pits.
Oh yes, because it's way down yonder, from the banking all the way down onto the flat. So, like you talked about, it's very tricky. You got to back it way down. You got to turn left, and it's very tricky and treacherous trying to get down there. Some people want to turn in right at turn 3. Others want to start, slowing down middle of the back straightaway, perhaps. So there's different ways to attack this pit road entry.
You see Cornett now making his pit stop. Oh yeah, you can go laps down quick. Skyler back out there. Oof. Almost a bobble from that 99 machine, Will.
Indeed, Skyler, with fresh tires, so the car is going to take a moment, a few laps, to heat back up those tires that he just put on the car.
So Phillip is out of the race. Look at that good run by JP. Able to get to the outside, carry that momentum off. Thought twice about going to the inside of that 22. See there, Brandon Moore is now making his pit stop, Will. That'll move Justin into third position. Boy, Carter's got a lot of traffic up there in front of him. Oh, that's the wall, Jake.
Chris Cornett diving down, making a pit stop, or maybe back into the pits after I thought he'd just come out of the pits, so.
He maybe had some contact somewhere.
Yeah, good possibility. Brandon Moore making his pit stop. So only 3 cars currently left to make a pit stop, so they went a little bit longer. Carter, Sanchez, and Justin Steves are the 3 cars remaining to make a pit stop here.
Jaden's in the pits now.
And we're still going to need one more pit stop, it looks like, Brian, to get these drivers home for the evening.
As you see here,
After
Carter will now make his pit stop.
Going to say after Carter comes out, cycles out, we could do our crank it up segment if you wanted to.
Absolutely. You see there, Justin Steve still out on the track. He is now going to make his pit stop. Looks like it's going to rain back there. Coming out of...
On it, though. The sun popped up for just a wee bit, and then it went back into hiding, Brian. It got awful dark again.
It sure did. That's a little... That looks a little scary, don't it?
Oh yeah, these drivers having to deal with changing track conditions here this evening, Brian.
So that'll put JT and Skyler back on the lead lap. As now Brandon looks to run down Jacob, and Jacob looks to run down Jaden. Boy, those clouds do not look promising at all. Oh, they don't. I would be a little worried. I'm just saying. Those clouds look a little, contact with the 5. Anyway, well, everybody has successfully made their pit stop now, so
Everybody's cycled out. Jaden currently has a 2.5-second lead over Jacob Carter. Brandon Moore is somewhat behind Carter, but Carter should be sailing away from Brandon as Carter stayed out longer. So, yes, indeed, Carter getting those tires back up to temperature, warming up, and we are going to do our crank it up now. 69 laps complete and in the books here this evening at Darlington, as Jaden Sanchez is currently your race leader after our green flag cycle of pit stops and doing our lovely crank it up section of the night. Jacob Carter trying to run down Jaden. As you see the distance in between.
Yep. About almost 3-second difference, Will, as we flip the back here.
Fluctuating, Brian. Yes, indeed, off the top of the car, looking back at Jacob, like you said, it's fluctuating. Jacob's been, down to 2 1/4. It's up to, 2 3/4. So I don't know if Carter's just on a bad set of tires, Brian, how you come down to make a pit stop and you just can't get those tires up to temperature that you're putting on the car, or you just can't get back into your momentum. You break your rhythm whenever you slow down to make a pit stop, and then you got to get back at it. You got to get back in that rhythm, and if you break it, you lose it. Oh, Skyler, I believe, is making a unscheduled pit stop here, Brian.
I do agree with you, Will. I think something might have happened to that 99 craft, as we saw when we cranked it up section. Looked like he was dealing with a lot of tight and loose and making some contact to that wall. That sun looks like it wants to pop out, but
it looks like it wants to pop its head back out, but just can't seem to rear through the clouds there like it did earlier in the race. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 cars a lap down or more. So we have 4 cars out of the race, unfortunately. Well, technically 3, because Lawson didn't grid.
Now it looks like Carter's running him down. He was good here the last time.
Yeah, Carter, Brandon, even Justin. Justin has a lot of laps under his belt at Darlington, Charlotte, his local tracks around there. He tried to pride himself on at least bringing home a top 5, top 10 day, right? So, no surprise to see who is in the top 5, at least in my opinion, in this race, Brian.
Yeah, Justin puts a lot of time in. He's doing that, and Carter as well.
That turn 2, right there, like I talked about, Brian, at the top of the show, treacherous turn 2, which used to be turn 1, the track, they kind of flipped the track. I want to say it's been 30 years, maybe 35 years when they flipped the track, but they flipped the track, Brian. And so, turns 1 and 2 used to be 3 and 4, vice versa, just like at, where we go now, Phoenix. So, you got to be careful not to cross yourself up or get confused on which side of the track is, because we know, basically look at an egg. We all know what an egg looks like, an odd oval shape. It's not completely, a perfect oval. It's a bit lopsided. It looks like you punched it in the face one too many times, right, Brian? So.
Skyler broke the toe late.
Oh man! Thank you for the communication from the 99's crew chief, which is also Skyler Sixton. So. Skyler wears multiple hats on his race team. Love to hear it. He's the PR manager. He's the crew chief. He's everything, man. He's always getting in touch with us whenever something goes awry and letting us know. He's on it, man. He'd be a great. He would. Go ahead. Yes, Skyler's a great guy. Just absolute all-around great guy. I used to race with him on the Xbox days back when before the B&R series was ever a thing on iRacing, so it was on console first, right? So that's where we all met, and man, Skyler, I don't think you could ask for a better stand-up guy. He is one of the most chillest people in the room.
Yeah, your first race back and Darlington's rough, but it's.
Oh yeah.
Darlington has never been my strong suits.
Yes, Skyler, if you was an actual racing driver, you wouldn't need a PR agent. You'd be your own PR agent.
Boy, Carter loves making contact with that wall, but he got Jaden down to a little bit under a second and a half, so. There's Brandon Moore. And that 88 machine sitting P3. That's right, Marley Motorsports. That was always his thing. It was always Marley Motorsports. It's just great, your own little team, and he does well when he's good at tracks. That's for sure. He can put a fight up. So.
Like you said, Carter slowly reeling in the 22. My apologies, Brian.
No, you're good. You're good.
At least, not the gap wasn't as big as it was a while ago.
Well, Brandon's like almost 4 seconds off of Jacob.
I think Brandon would need a caution to fully be able to do anything against Jaden or Jacob. We haven't had a caution yet this race. They've been caution free for 85 laps. And, it just from where Brandon qualified or where he started, Brian, he had to work his way up through the field a little bit. And he has just stabilized in that third position. Nothing wrong with that, by the way. It'll still be a decent points day for him. He's in a tight points battle, between help me out, Jaden.
Brandon is in a tight points battle with
or am I thinking of Saturday?
You're thinking of Saturday. No.
Oh, okay,
Brandon's in first, and then it's Jaden.
I thought I was right.
Campbell, Pearson, Tyler, Bradford, Woodrum.
What about doing the Gen 4s on Thursday, Brian?
Gen 4 on Thursday.
Well, I'm just saying, it would be something different, something else besides Gen 7s. Like I said, back-to-back Gen 7. It gets me so confused sometimes about who's leading the points here, who's doing the what there. I'm spitballing, man. I'm spitballing. Because I know I'm pretty sure this was kind of a temporary thing for Thursday and Saturday, to run two Cup Series, one fixed, one open, to kind of see how it fared, right, Brian? So see how it went, just to for the most part. And I think Brandon Moore, he's going to come back down pit road here and cut this in half, because everybody will be good to go for sure. We don't have to worry about another pit stop, so you can go from here.
Yes, indeed. JP back to P3. Jacob Carter got down to a second and a quarter, now back from Jaden. Speaking of him, there he is. Didn't even have to do it. STK knew I was talking about him.
It's taken Carter a pretty long while to try to at least get within a second of Jaden here. So, not sure if he's just been waiting around till the final pit stop to make here, Brian, or what. But like I said, I almost have a feeling that this set of tires just didn't get up to, didn't get up to par for Jacob, like he wanted to. It just feels like he's kind of been struggling on this set.
Yeah, I believe so.
92 laps in, caution free at Darlington. 14 starters at Darlington. We've seen before in the past, we at least get at least one caution or two between 14 drivers, but caution free at the moment. So,
yeah, you see Carter there with, I think he's in the pit.
Pearson makes his pit stop, his remaining pit stop that we needed to see, so
Now Carter will pit.
did he get loose coming into the pits? Did he slide or something?
Yeah, that's how he's under braking.
Oh, the car bounced. He took some bad bumps. He wasn't able to get down near into the wall like he did earlier in the race whenever they made that first sequence earlier, Brian. So, Bradford hits the turn 3 wall pretty hard. So, but Bradford's still going to walk away with a top 10 day when this race is said and done. He may be 18 laps down, but that's a top 10. That's why you get back out there. You never know what might happen to just a few competitors that was in front of you or, around you when you had your troubles. So that's why it's called racing. You race to that checkered flag. You try to repair that car if you can, get back out there. If you can't repair it, then that's fine. Start loading it up. But so Jaden Sanchez has yet to give us his final pit stop of the evening. As leaning going on between what would be, second and third. Goodness gracious, great balls of fire as Brandon Moore was pretty much holding his line on the bottom lane, and Carter just gets a bit wobbly coming out of turn number 4 on those cold tires, Brian, and about took each other out on the cold tires.
That they did well.
So is that going to harpen Carter at all? Can Brandon Moore do anything as far as the being able to short pit here? You could almost put that like on the top right corner, and unless you like it on the middle, that's cool too on the middle. So, oh my goodness, Brian, what has happened to Jaden? Has Brandon Moore and Carter jumped him that much? It's currently 3 seconds that they are ahead of Jaden. Well, Carter is 9/10 of a second back from Moore. My oh my, this race has almost turned on its head here on the final pit stop of the evening. Did something happen to Jaden whenever he made his pit stop? Did he, kind of pull a Carter and do some wheel hoppage? But now Carter's going to run back down Brandon. And if Brandon and Carter get to racing, maybe the undercut was just strong tonight, Brian.
I believe so. I think Jaden and Brandon timed it right, and then
You mean Jacob and Brandon?
yes, thank you.
You're welcome. Can you rewind this just a little bit? I would like to see his pit road entry, please. Unless he was just trying to be extra cautious, Brian, that could be the case too. Trying not to, have a pit road speeding penalty or spin out under braking here. He has had some pit road penalties earlier so far in the season, Brian, so maybe just trying to back that down and not have any of those whatsoever. As there you see Jacob Carter coming into the picture for Jaden. That time I did it. Jaden coming into the picture frame on Jacob Carter, so Jaden could be trying to run them back down, but the gap is opened back up a little bit more, Brian. Brandon has driven away. Jacob, this set of tires seems to just be, just like the other set. So at least at the moment, we have 25 laps to go in this race. Caution free, still, at the moment. So, my oh my.
Yeah.
I can't get over it. If you told me 10 people started at Darlington and they went caution free, I'm like, okay, that's fantastic. 14, 15 people, start Darlington, and we saw some wrecks and some things that you're like, oh, almost a caution, right? But we didn't get it. So, at least not yet. There's still 24 more, slaps around the track that you got to make here, and that's still plenty of time that we can see for a caution. As Carter has run down more, only about a half a second here, maybe 3/4 of a second. Did Moore get into the wall that we did not see? Or did the tires just finally snap and come alive on the 54 machine finally? That could be the case too. They bottled up. Moore had to get out of it. Now Moore's going to defense here. Going into turn number 3, Carter's going to give him a little bit of a nudge. So Moore's going to have to brake just ever so slightly. Coming out of turn 4 here, 22 laps to go at the stripe. And this will give the opportunity that Jaden needed to close up, fence up on the back of the 2 race leaders here. Brandon Moore not seen the race lead all night until the final pit stop of the race, as he was able to undercut the race leader and second place man. Navigating, Joe Stike keeping it in the wall. Brandon Moore trying to precision his car, keeping it in front of Jacob Carter. How many more times can he do that before Carter is just, one too many times? We have seen these guys have a good storied history, shall we say, Brian, of just drama in the closing laps of any given race in any given series. So these guys are great racers, between each other. But what will happen when that pay window truly opens on the white flag? If it stays this way until the white flag, if that is a 2-letter word, but my grandfather always said that it is one of the biggest words, even though it was only 2 letters.
Yeah.
So can we get one of the TV, one of the other TV cams to maybe see back where Jaden is coming out of turn number 4. Carter's going to get a great run. Oh my goodness, the top 3's right there. Throw a blanket over him. Going into turn number 1, Carter's compromised. He had to roll out of it even more. Here comes Jaden. He's got a good run on the outside. Can he do anything? No, he's going to get right there to the back of the trunk lid of the 54. Jaden's going to make a look. Brandon Moore is loving this. He's licking his chops. He's like, you guys, come on, Jaden, get up here, fight with us so I can pull back away. But Brandon just can't seem to get that bite or the turn off of turn number 4 that he needs. He's getting them, it seems like, in turns 1 and 2. He can get them in turns 1 and 2, but turn 4, turn 2 was a bad turn 2 for him that time, though. As I was talking him up, saying how well he was executing 1 and 2, he kind of stepped on himself in turn number 2. Oh, he stepped on it again going into turn number 3. I got to stop that. He did it again going into turn number 3. So he is somehow able to still hold Jacob Carter and Jaden at bay. They are both here. They are just like I said earlier, you truly have to wait for a huge mistake from your opponent in front of you to Brandon Moore. Brandon. Jacob underneath. What does Jaden do? Jaden, be patient. Just back up. No, don't do this. Oh, they are going to be side by side going into turn number 1. Under 20 to go here. 15 to go. And it is just harrowing racing at the moment going on. As Carter burnt his stuff up trying to deal with Brandon Moore, running him back down, the battle that ensued, and trying to keep Jaden behind him. And now, what is going on? Brandon Moore still leading this race as Jaden now in second place. Oh, I think Carter might have kissed the wall there. Oh, they're all here. I do like this camera angle, but okay, thank you, iRacing, for finally, or Brian, whoever switched it, but probably Brian.
Carter, that's the wall again.
Jaden, gonna look to the inside, down the back straightaway, going into turn number 3, but, I don't know if there was contact made, but Jaden getting around Brandon Moore as they were side by side. What's going to happen now? Side by side for second place. Carter's trying to get away from Brandon because Brandon, like I said, don't know if there was contact. So Jaden, get up and go. Drive away as fast as you can. If there was contact, that camera angle, it's so hard to tell because of the light pole. The lights on the infield are behind the inside retaining wall that light up the track, Brian. So okay. I thought, that had to be one heck of a way to end the race, to kind of lag out of it right at the end of the race, basically. Just, man, you never want to, even racing drivers in the real world say, you almost rather wreck early than wreck late, right? So, no sense in wasting all that time and effort just to, Jacob, man. Ooh. It's going to be interesting to speak to these drivers at the end of this one, Brian. That's all I have to say about that. So everybody has got their fair share of Darlington stripe, or just been in a tight or just nervous battle at some point in this race. That battle with, 15 to go there, that was intense. That was great racing here.
Absolutely it was.
We still have 8 competitors out on the track at the moment.
He's slowly
just
rolling back in, Jaden.
Ooh. Under 10 laps to go, 9 laps to go, 8 laps to go at the stripe. Yes. It's not called stripe anymore. It is called stipe, just like Joe. There you go, Joe. You can be the flag man from now on, all the time. You're the flag man now. I mean, this race has been great. This race has been fantastic. If you would have told me from the drop of the green flag to now they would have went caution free, I would have been like, I'm expecting at least 2 cautions. At least with the amount of field that we had this evening, I'm expecting 2. 125 laps, 14 people, Darlington. Okay, 2. If I just had to, Will, how many cautions we going to have this evening? Like if that's what you were going to ask me. So, Dad, I'm going to send you to the moon, I tell you. One of these days, kitty cat.
I think these two with them racing so hard and hitting the wall like that allow Jaden to conserve a little bit, and then Jacob, you gotta get off the wall.
I would like to go back at some point, Brian, around the 16, 14 lap to go mark and see if there was contact made when Jaden got going into turn 3, remember?
Yes.
Man, now, Jacob, you just can't seem to stay out of the wall. Oh, my goodness. Come on, bud. You've came this far. You can't just bend it now. Like I said, it's tragedy whenever it happens this late in the going and you DNF. You don't want to do it this late in the going. You didn't even bring up the track map all night long, Brian.
No, I probably haven't.
No, you didn't. That's what I'm saying. Like, you didn't do it all night long. But it's okay. It's okay. 3 laps to go. 3.5. About to be 2 to go at the stripe. Like I said, fantastic race. What more could you ask for than green flag from start to finish at Darlington? It gets it done. It gets it over with in a reasonable time. I tell you what.
I don't know why my thing
That final lap of asking here at Darlington. Jaden Sanchez with a comfortable lead of 3.5 seconds will take the checkered for Jacob Carter in second. Brandon Moore finishes out the podium in 3rd position, Brian.
Yes, he will. I would say overall great race, absolutely.
Oh, fantastic race.
Oh, Carter, those are I don't think you want to do that. Right into the barriers there. So see here, P1 you got Jaden, P2 you got Jacob Carter, P3 you got Brandon Moore, P4 you got Jason Pearson, P5 you got Justin Steves, P6 you got Eric Cordera, P7 you got Pete Woodrum, P8, you got Joe Stipe. P9, you got Chris Cornett. P10, you got Aaron Bradford. P11, you got Skylar Sixton. P12, you got Cameron Smith. P13, you got Phillip. P14, you have Chris Campbell. Jeez, that was a doozy of a race, but it was a very good one.
Like I said, it was a pretty fantastic race for what we had here this evening at Darlington. 125 laps, caution free, and just outstanding, Brian. What more can you ask for? Like I said earlier in the race.
That is true.
Where's the Lamborghini Super Traverse? What are you doing, you two? Landon Moore, our P3 finisher, hopefully here.
Yep, there he is.
Brandon.
That's Mike.
Yeah, well, Mike in the Truck Series. Dale Jr. tonight. First off, I love that orange amp car. He barely ran it, but when he did run it, that was my favorite paint scheme of the amp days, okay? Like, mainly because the color orange is my favorite.
It's a real good throwback. Nobody would have thought about it.
Exactly, except for me and you. Us die on our hill, Dale Jr. fans. So you started what did you qualify? 10th, 11th, outside the top 10, somewhere back there.
I hit the wall on both laps a little bit, so I started in the back P14.
Yeah, you shotgun of the field, Brandon. So, like I told Brian earlier in the race, once you made your way into the top 3, your car just kind of equalized with the race leaders at that point. You had done some hard conserving, but also driving up through the field to get yourself in that position. But like I said, you got, Jacob and Jaden, everybody had equalized by the time you got where you got. So it was just up to gaining time, executing your pit stops, right? And that second pit stop there, you really pulled the undercut of the century just about. Okay?
I
tried. I don't know how Jacob had the patience not to do anything with you there before Jaden got back up to you. I tell you what, you
did everything but wreck me.
Yeah, you made that car as wide as the track was. That's for sure. And but Jade, I told Brian, I said I couldn't tell if there was contact or not going into turn 3. But
no,
anyway,
there wasn't. I drove it in so deep, and it still wouldn't turn. I had the brake bust all the way down as far as it would go. I think I had like 39 brake bust in that thing.
Oh my Lord!
And it just kept going to the wall. I mean, the tires were shot. I just asking way too much of the tires.
But that was some great racing from about 23 to go, 25
Oh,
to
yeah,
go.
I bet that was fun to watch.
that was, you're almost speechless, like I am now. Like, there was some fantastic racing. 14 drivers started this race, Brandon, and you went caution-free for 125 laps at Darlington. I know that is a struggle to do. So, I mean, there was a couple of wrecks, but, they were able to keep it down off the racing surface. So iRacing said, that is fantastic to see. We kind of already know what you were dealing with, but just tell us about it with your own words, if you don't mind me just, not talking for a minute.
Yeah, the car was good on fresh tires, but as soon as you get any kind of laps on them, the thing was just a plow horse. It just would not rotate the corners whatsoever. I don't know if it was something with the new update versus what we had last year, but you put, say, 15 laps on those tires. I mean, you were trail braking into one, trying to get the rotate off the top of between 1 and 2 to, turn it back to the bottom. And you was also trail braking all the way through the entry of 3, through the middle of 3. And then finally letting off the brake there when you try to exit. But it is just a handful with old tires, and trying to hold off Jaden with probably 9, 10 lap fresher tires wasn't it. But it was fun. I had fun.
Oh, it looked like it was a great race, nevertheless, Brandon. Next week, Homestead, that progressive bank, track down there, South Florida in Miami. So, what's the preparation, the mindset, the thoughts? What mindset, Brandon, going into Homestead?
Well, Homestead should put on a pretty good show. Multi-groove racetrack, you can kind of make speed whether if you want to be a bottom feeder or running around the top of the racetrack. Should be a lot of side-by-side action. Don't foresee a lot of cautions there, so going to try and put a decent qualifying effort out, get it in the front, and hopefully stay there most of the race.
Don't step on it. Anyway, got any final thoughts, shout outs, anything else you'd like to add, Brandon, before we let you go celebrate this hard fought podium finish here tonight?
Yeah, I just want to thank everybody who came out to watch. Thank all the drivers putting on a show. Thank the broadcast booth as always, and looking forward to Homestead and happy with a podium P3. Good point stay, and that'll be good points towards the end of the season. So looking forward to Homestead.
Yes, like you talked about, good points day, you and Jaden in an intense
Well, that's why I did
battle.
the undercut. I said the worst I'm going to finish is third. I mean,
right.
I mean that's the worst.
You gotta talk to, you gotta talk to us.
I thought
like
2 tires. I thought about it. I thought hard.
You really
on
did.
Short. I did. I thought really hard. 2 tires short fuel, and I was like, that's a bad idea.
Yeah, because you would have got just steamrolled possibly.
Well, I didn't know what would happen. I was thinking too.
Right.
Fresh rights, born lefts, it probably would have turned more. Who knows? It might have.
Yeah.
It may have helped the balance of the car, but it was untested. I did not test it in practice, so I didn't try it in the race.
Well, best of luck to you next week.
Too many points on the line to test something like that late in the race when you have a podium in your lap.
Exactly, I agree. Congratulations, on the podium finish here tonight, Brandon. Like I said, Homestead's next week. I'm trying to bring. Where are we at Saturday?
Las Vegas.
No,
that'll be
Vegas
fun.
Saturday. So yeah,
that'll be
best
fun.
of luck. Best of luck to you Saturday, next Thursday, all around going forward, Brandon. So thanks for talking to us, and go celebrate.
All right, appreciate y'all. Have a good night.
You too.
Good night. And P2, rounding, forward up the podium, Jacob Carter, his hard-fought podium finish here as well, trying to keep it out of the walls on the closing lap. Trying to add that S there. No, you're good. I forgot my S. I was adding it to the word there.
My thing glitched out on me for a moment. As you see, we're stuck on a black screen.
We are, aren't we? Yes, indeed.
Gotta love it. Come on, let me click on Carter's name. This thing's having a doozy of its own, Will.
Well, technical difficulties just be like that sometimes. I mean, we've seen it in the real world of broadcasting too. So I mean, it happens. It truly does.
Ay, Dios míos. Yep, it's all glitched out here on me, Will. I will just go like this. Sorry. Oh, that's why. Okay. We'll just have to do it this way. I think I got it fixed. Yes, there we go. Alright. Technical difficulties all around, unfortunately. Now we go ahead and bring up Mr. Carter.
Hello.
Well,
Well, hello, Jacob. Yes, I'm stealing them all, Brian.
that's fine. That's fine.
Qualified on the pole, Jacob. You had an all-race battle struggle with Jaden. You and Jaden just blowing, exchanging powwows back and forth for the most part. And then Brandon late in the race wanted to just throw some strategy, on each other and just kind of try and undercut and just keep you in that second position just all the time long. Just tell us what all you were dealing with. It looked like the outside wall mainly, but just tell us about how your race went, from your perspective.
Yeah, that wall was definitely my best friend today. But anywho, yeah, I was trying to get the freaking thing to rotate, and it would rotate, and then it'd push, and then rotate again, and then push. So mixed emotions with the car, and yeah, when Brandon got in front of me, I was like, all right, let me go. So Jaden, nope, man, you're going dogfight. I was like, oh my god. So I gave him the bumper here and there, and was having it out and having fun, and then Jaden ruined the fun, and then won the race. So that's how that went.
Yes, indeed. That is how it went. If you're here next week, Homestead is next week. The Progressive Bank, mile and a half down there in Florida. What's the mindset, going into Homestead, Jacob?
I'll let Jaden win.
Oh, okay. Wow, you don't sound like I'm actually talking to a real radio. That cleared up super quick. Don't try not to let Jaden win is the goal next week. So, yes, indeed. Like, just was the track hot out there? Was it slick? More slick than normal. We know Darlington normally can be a pretty slick track, but we had a lot of cloud cover today, Jacob. Was the track kind of cool, or how was the track conditions out there for you? Like I said, we saw you get in the wall a little bit, but that's just how the racing line can be here.
Yeah, if you kind of watch and progress, you can see me get higher and higher because everybody's trying to get the low line and the middle line to work. Me, on the other hand, I was getting tight. So what I do is I get just a little bit up into that higher groove just for it to rotate just enough. But then I made it hot, and then it started getting tight up there. So I kind of figured after a while it was gonna get a little tight up there, and I knew it was gonna knock the wall down eventually. But that early race knocked the wall down, kind of killed me for the rest of the race. So it's a headache for sure. But what can I do except for try my best? And like I said, I was trying to keep Jaden behind me, but Brandon opened the door up high, and here came Jaden. I was like, uh-oh. So, well, he's gone. And Brandon was like, no, he's not. I'm going to get him. And then Brandon hit the wall. So I was like, well, yeah, you got him, don't you? So it was just, it was fun and also a headache.
Yeah, it looked like a great race, but also it looked like it could have been a headache from the driver's perspective. From the fan point of view, it was epic. 125 laps, caution-free at Darlington. I was expecting at least one or two, right, because of how tough of a track it can be. But you guys proved me wrong this evening, so congratulations on that. And the P2 finish here this evening. Almost got the win, but like you said, Jaden back with just a bit fresher tires than yourself, right? So just able to run you and Brandon back down, and just great driving from Jaden once he caught up to you guys. I thought, no, don't, like you could be overthinking it here, Jaden, don't do it. But man, he proved me wrong too. So, final thoughts, shout-outs, anything you'd like to add, Jacob, before we let you go celebrate this P2?
Shout out to y'all in there. Covering everything here. Brian, why ain't you talking? Hold on, I gotta call him out.
Say what?
Well,
Why ain't you talking to me?
Will just wanted to do his shindig, so I'm like, okay.
Oh, okay. I was just making sure you wasn't being a clown.
Oh no, I ain't no clown.
Alright. I'm just making sure.
Will just wanted
all right.
to
Well,
interview everybody, so like, okay.
Yeah.
congratulations, Jacob, yet again. We'll talk to. Good.
I wasn't
Okay,
done.
yeah, you were. We got
No
to get
wasn't.
Jaden. We got to talk. We got to finish the show.
You
Okay,
listen.
you listen, Brian. Help me out, Brian. Brian,
Will,
Brian,
Will,
Brian,
Will,
Brian,
Will, Will,
Brian,
Will,
Brian.
Yes.
Mr. Producer Man, Brian, help me
Will.
out. I need Jaden. We got to finish the show. We are. Come on now. Come on. Be a good
People
boy,
love
Jacob.
me.
Come on.
People love me.
Yeah, I do love you, but come on, come on. Boot scoot boogie, come on.
Fine.
Yes. We'll chit chat right after we get done with Jaden.
Yes,
Jaden's
yes,
wait. Jaden's is normally simple because Jaden just says everything himself.
yes. We don't have to ask
It's
him anything. All we
literally
got to do is just say, "Hey, Jaden." Like he is a robot.
yeah.
Exactly.
So we'll get you up there. I'll pop up there, and
Y'all.
buddy. Yep.
I actually like interviewing Jacob. He sounds like he's like that. That's getting the full immersion. Like it sounds like he's actually like on a radio. Like I thought I was talking to a trucker on a CB.
Last but not least, Jaden.
Yes, our race winner bringing it home in P1 tonight. In the wars mainly with Jacob Carter all throughout. Jaden, you started on P2 outside the front row, and just you let the race come to you more or less, and it did. It surely did. Tell us about it, Jaden. Floor is yours.
All I can say is, we back, baby. We're
I
back.
mean,
Yeah, no, I don't know. Yeah, no, I told the guys before that, if Brandon and Jacob got with each other early, sorry, I'm stuttering. If they were to, I'm stuttering again. If both of them were to get together, that I might have had a chance. Oh my God, I can't speak. I might have a chance to catch them. But I wasn't really sure because I ended up missing my pits, the pits altogether, letting Brandon and Jacob catching me, and then after that I just said, all right, I'm a full send. Whatever happens, happens, and I caught them. And then I was just like, all right, well, I can't mess up like I did, Hawkins Glen. So I'm just gonna let them battle it out. I was really hoping that they would take each other out. Not gonna lie, but more or less, I think Brandon gave me that top, and then I just full throttled it, and it was like, all right, well, we're just gonna see if this happens again. And I don't know, he gave me the room this time, and I just flew by. So yeah, no, it's I don't know. This race was pretty cool. I mean, 0x.
100.
I mean,
Yeah, 0x, 125 laps, caution free. I was expecting at least 1-2 because it's Darlington, 14 people. You expect at least 1 or 2 because Darlington. But caution free, 125 laps. You and Jacob, I would think, probably if not tied or if not led the most between one of the two, right? So I think you probably got it. But
yeah,
good. Excellent points day because you and Brandon in that tight points battle between you and him. Homestead next week. Tell us about what your preparation mindset going into that progressive banked mile and a half.
Oh yeah, you won't see me up in the front. Nice. I'm pretty bad there. If I get up there, it's not by choice. It's just gonna be luck. But yeah, no, I've never been really good at Homestead. But I don't know. We'll see. I know that high side's gonna be the preferred lane, and then probably the bottom as tires wear out. But I don't know. We'll see. I mean, it's pretty much the Kyle Larson line up there. So
Yeah.
I mean,
Just a heads up, you might want to stay away from Cameron or Justin at Homestead. I had bad experiences with them at Homestead in the past. But Anyway, final
okay.
thoughts, shout outs, Jaden. Before no, I'm being serious.
Oh,
But final thoughts, shout outs, anything? Yes, but that's why Brian's laughing is because it's a serious matter. Okay, like that. I am.
okay.
It's PTSD for me. Anyway, so I'm not knocking neither one of them. I'm just saying it was just some great racing back in the day. Anyway, so final thoughts, shout outs, anything else you'd like to add, before we let you go celebrate this victory here tonight at Darlington.
I think shout out to everyone that came at Darlington. Darlington's not an easy track. So for the field that we had, props to everyone showing up and yeah, just everyone racing clean. Yeah, shout out to you guys for broadcasting like always. Admins, whatever. I mean, shout out to Fleek. It's great. Yeah, no, but yeah, we'll prep for next week and hopefully, we can run it back. I'm not sure though. I feel like that will be more of a Jacob and Brandon show, but I'll be happy with a third. I mean, but yeah, no, it's really just trying to keep this points lead, which is going to be pretty hard to hold off Brandon, but we'll see. We got a lot of races left, so it should be a good one. So yeah, I'm excited. Bring it on.
Well, congratulations once again. Thanks for talking to us, Jaden.
Yep.
Well,
Well,
Brian. Okay, yep.
well, very exciting race. Caution free for the most part. We know Darling can be treacherous on everybody, even in the real world when they come here. A lot of ups, a lot of downs for some, and overall, I would say a great race. Sorry for the unfortunates for the early ones that got out. Darlington, now you can scratch that off and don't have to worry about Darlington. So, for
Yes,
myself,
indeed.
oh, go ahead.
Oh, yep.
No, go
No,
ahead.
you go. Yeah, I was just going to say, fantastic race. Like I've said since the checkered flag, Brian, it was a great race. Thank you for all the drivers coming out and giving it a shot here at Darlington. It's a tough track. We love, keeping it on the schedule because of how tough and a driver's track it is. So hoping to keep it on the schedule for the future, Brian. And like you said, just thanks to also the viewers for coming out tonight as well, Brian. Okay, back to you.
Yes, sir. Will, yes. So for myself, Brian Hunt and Will Roberts here, awesome time having him in the booth. His knowledge and me handling the cameras. Will doing his most awesome commentary. Sometimes we throw in little music quotes at certain races, but from us, we'd like to thank you guys all for coming on out tonight. Congrats to the top 3 podium finishers, Jaden, Brandon, Jacob. They kick ass about every week, every time they're here. So, also for them to show out, put a dominant performance on, especially the closing last between those 3 was a great show. But for myself and Will, we want to thank you guys for coming out tonight. Excuse me. Next Saturday, catch Will and Chris in the booth as I'm out on the track as we take on Las Vegas. So Will and Chris will be up in the booth. Give them a like, follow, share on YouTube. 1-5 Studios broadcast on YouTube. Check out the action of these group Saturday night when we take on the open sets. So we want to thank you all for coming out tonight, cheering on your favorite drivers, and just being there to support us on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, Kick, wherever we're at. Like, share, follow, send us the love. But